Welcome to this guided meditation on creativity. My name is Joseph Arnold. I'm the director of the Soul Force Arts Institute, and today I'm going to guide you through an experience and some ideas that will help you connect more deeply and more effortlessly with your creativity, so you can play more freely and feel better when you're creating and making music, whatever it is that you do, and really have access to something deeper than just getting it right. If you notice, well, first of all, get yourself comfortable. You can either sit or lie down for this. Find a comfortable position and make sure you don't have any other distractions. Turn off any notifications. What makes this process work that I'm about to share with you is your presence. So you have to actually be here for it. And if you're distracted even a little bit, that will diminish the value of this experience. So it's not terribly long, maybe 10 minutes or so. So really make sure that you set aside some time and let the people around you know that you are not to be disturbed for this time. Okay, so let's begin with thinking about or contemplating where creativity comes from. Is it something that you do, your individual ego self? Or is it something you receive? As if like a radio transmission from whatever mysterious source of creativity there exists. Or maybe it's a combination of the two somehow. Where a lot of creatives get into trouble is, I guess, going into either extreme. The most common extreme in our culture, Western, American, industrialized culture, is thinking of creativity as something that you do, something that you make happen through your effort and willpower. And if you notice, when you're feeling creatively disconnected, burnt out, you have self-doubt, tension, pain, inner critic, that kind of thing, you might just wonder, where do I exist on the spectrum of doing to receiving when I'm feeling more disconnected? Typically, it'll be when you're on the doing end of things. Although sometimes, if you have the idea that creativity is only something you receive, that can be just as limiting. In a sense, your creative impulses, the creative aliveness that you want to experience and that your audiences want from you, is not something you do. At least the source of it is not something you do. Your creative inspiration is something you receive. Like a stroke of insight, right? And especially with playing music, if you're especially like classically trained or a highly trained jazz musician, maybe a little bit less for jazz, but it can still be that way, where you got to get the notes right. And is that really creativity? Or even, is putting feeling behind the notes real creativity? If the way that you're putting that feeling there is somehow still an act of willpower. It gets kind of tricky, right? If you're only getting it right, if you're only playing the notes right, then that's obviously not creativity. And yet you need to get the notes right for the piece to sound like the piece. So where do we land with all of this? So one way of thinking about this is related to what I call playing from the heart. An analogy I sometimes use when thinking about playing from the heart. Oh, well, first of all, what is playing from the heart? It's how you take a bunch of notes or techniques or the mechanics of your creative act and make it really alive. Just like Pinocchio, right? He became a real boy, no longer just a collection of wooden dowels. Your music can undergo the same transformation if you play from the heart. The essence of playing from the heart is shifting your attention from the notes to your heart's reaction to the notes. And so this is where we can begin to get into more of an embodied experience in this guided meditation. So you can begin by noticing your heart and maybe your gut as well. Noticing them from from the like a felt experience. Not visualizing your heart and gut, but feeling them. Maybe there's something you feel there, maybe not. It doesn't really matter for our purposes here. You're just being open. You're being with. You're being with your heart. You're being with your gut as emotional centers. Now, this is so critical because if you want to make music that's alive, you have to pay attention. You have to be connected to what is alive inside you. And what might that be? Well, it's this very thing that you're doing right now. Paying attention to your heart and your gut as emotional centers. This is the source of your creativity. Right here. When you're playing some notes and you're paying attention to your inner audience member, that's what I call this, your heart and your gut, then your music will by itself automatically become more alive. Become more flowing and effortless and moving, transportive. And it's so funny how this works because it's not like you have to make that happen. All you're doing is paying attention, being with. And that by itself sort of connects the circuit that makes your music come alive. A lot of my students really struggled with this at first because, and as did I, because we're so used to making things happen, so used to doing musical expression rather than letting it flow through us. And so what I work on with people is really learning how to trust that their musical expression will flow through, even when it doesn't feel like they're doing anything at all. And so we get back to this paradox that I began with, because your musical expression, the juice of it, the flow of it, the aliveness of it, both is yours, unique to you, just like somebody's voice, and it also doesn't belong to you because you don't manufacture it into being. It arrives whole, spontaneous, unbidden, unforced. So simple that it's hard to get. It's hard to understand. The phrase I want you to remember is being with. Being with your emotions while you play. So let's just do a little bit more of that now. Just being with whatever is arising in your body right now, whatever sensations are there, whatever emotions are there. Whatever sounds you hear. Being with the colors, the light that you see, either with your eyes open or eyes closed. Just notice what that does for you. How that helps you struggle less with your experience. Even if you're in pain, being with the pain. Notice how that quiets your nervous system. It's really a kind of deep listening. And maybe I'll leave you with this. If you want your audiences to listen to you deeply, you must listen to yourself deeply. And by practicing some of the suggestions in this guided meditation, you can do just that. Okay, we're going to bring this into a close. Thank you so much for joining me on this little journey. Maybe you can make note of any takeaways that seem notable to you, anything that's useful. And yeah, begin to open your eyes, move your body a bit, and see if you can take some notion or some part of the experience with you in the rest of your day. And if you'd like to learn more about my approach to music and art and creativity, feel free to subscribe to this channel. I've got lots of videos, many more planned. You can also go to my website, soulforcearts.com, and learn more about me and my book and offerings, programs, etc. So you can, how would I put this? Find the place where your art, your well-being, and the world's hunger meet. Okay, see you next time.